They told you it was about closing loopholes. They told you it was about equity. But while the press releases were being drafted, a different kind of conversation was happening behind closed doors in an email thread between the Attorney General's office and the authors of the millionaire's tax. We've reviewed the documents. We're talking about a strategic roadmap to bypass a century of constitutional precedent, a roadmap designed to circumvent the will of Washington voters. When the people tasked with defending our Constitution start acting like political architects for the legislature, who is left to hold them accountable? From Seattle to Los Angeles, this is Left Coast News. No apologies, just the truth. Welcome back to Left Coast News. Today we're pulling back the curtain on something we've been watching closely, the path that led to the recently signed millionaire's tax, or SB 6346. While the official narrative from Olympia paints this as a fairer tax code, a bombshell series of emails released recently via public records requests paints a very different picture of how this legislation was actually built. We're talking about a behind-the-scenes collaboration between the Attorney General's office and legislative sponsors that some are calling a direct attempt to circumvent our state constitution. The narrative from Olympia was simple. We are closing loopholes, but the documents obtained by the Center Square suggest the real goal wasn't just to write a tax law, it was to re-engineer our legal landscape to bypass a century of Supreme Court precedent. In these emails, we see the Attorney General's office, the very office tasked with upholding our state constitution, actively advising on how to craft a bill specifically designed to survive a court challenge that would normally strike it down based on the 1993 Culleton decision. Legally, this is a powder keg. Critics argue that by coordinating this strategy, the AG's office shifted from an impartial protector of the rule of law to a political partner for the party in power. If the government can openly plot to bypass the Constitution, what protections do we actually have? For those of you frustrated with the lack of transparency in Olympia, this isn't just about a tax hike, it's about the process. It's about whether our elected officials are working for the people or working to circumvent the clear will of the voters who have historically rejected income tax proposals time and time again. We're tracking the legal battle and the push for a referendum as it unfolds. We're watching the documents, not just the press releases. Information is only the first step. Action is where the change happens. If you agree that this tax policy demands a public vote and that our state leadership needs to be held to the standard of the law, check the link in the description of this episode for the full 1,000-page document dump and our latest grassroots action items. We're building a community that holds City Hall and the State House accountable. If you're with us, share this episode with one neighbor who needs to hear the truth behind the headlines. Thanks for standing up for our region, and thanks for watching Left Coast News. Please share this so we can get the word out about what's going on with Democrat politics in Washington. Whether you agree with this tax or not, the way they're going about it should disturb you. Democrat politicians don't seem to care about the voters' opinions. And drop a comment. Do you think they are taking steps to apply this tax to everyone? Because that's what it sure looks like, and that's what a lot of us have thought from the time this was proposed. Make sure you subscribe to get updates to this story. The Supreme Court hearing is in just a few days. You can follow us on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, Brighteon, Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Substack, Patreon, and other social media sites. Thanks for watching.